Hello, everybody. Good evening. It's Thursday evening. It's 7 p.m. It's time for Content and Cocktails. I've been absent for this last week, so I'm back again. What's all this about then? If you've not been here before, Content and Cocktails is my weekly deep dive into all things video marketing, and this week we've got quite an interesting one. So, a few days ago, I mentioned that I have been deep in the process of recording 365 short form videos. The recording is finished and I'm in the process of editing. So I thought I would spend some time sharing how I've done that, what processes I've used to get that sort of consistency, to get that that process down, which meant that kind of I could actually achieve that heroic effort of 365, and it was heroic, I can tell you, recordings. Hello, Scott. How you doing? Good to see you here. Thank you for being here. It's lovely to be here. Yeah, so I thought I'd share a little bit of that. I'm just going to check that my live is okay. I've got somewhat intermittent video sort of internet strength, so I'm just going to make sure that thank you for being here. Well, it's broadly okay. It's broadly okay. So this is Content and Cocktails, and if you are watching it on either my feed or on YouTube or Twitter or wherever it's broadcasting, the primary place of broadcast is my group, my free group, Grow Your Business with Video with Tom Stanhope. And if you're not a member of the group, come over and join me, because there is where the learning happens. I've also got the exciting thing to share with you tonight, in as much that we are ramping up. We are a month away from our next challenge week. Hello, Helen. How are you doing? Good to see you here. Helen, of course, one of the inaugural members of Video Academy. And we are ramping up into the next challenge. So it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a good one. We had a really great time last time, and there was lots of good learning. It's a free week, all about live video. And I'm going to share the link here for those of you who can see it. Those of you who can't, I will. It is all about helping people, helping you get going with live video, because live video can be transformative. It's one of these things that has probably more than any other form of marketing, and you'd expect me to say this, it has completely transformed my business. The point when I stopped hiding behind the camera and got in front of it was when things really started to shift for me. For years, I've been, I'd hidden away behind the camera. I was helping other people tell their stories, but for a variety of reasons, I just decided that my place was behind the camera, not in front of it. And it was when I stepped out from behind the camera to in front of it that things really started to shift. And it is all about visibility, but it can be quite daunting. It can be the things like, what tech do you use? What story do you tell? All these things that you think you're going to struggle with, but actually with a bit of structure and a bit of help, those fears evaporate. Hello, Jojo. How are you doing? Camping was lovely. I think I'm fully recovered now. I'm at least clean, if not entirely rested. We got back. We had a fantastic time. We stayed in Devon. We just went up the road because there's some amazing campsites locally, as you'd think. But we went to the other end of the county, so it was about an hour and a bit away. But on the last day, we went to a place called the Bear Trail, which is basically a very muddy assault course, primarily for the kids, but actually we had a great time. And they say, be prepared to get a bit muddy. I came away, I was soaked, I was covered in mud from head to toe and literally crawling through it. There's like a mudslide. It was great fun. So I'm back from camping. I survived and I wasn't entirely ruined as a human being. Yes, inaugural member. The challenge last time was fantastic. The challenge and academy have changed my view of video and my business. That's great. Helen has been brilliant. She's really kind of stepped into this. And actually, share your LinkedIn. Not, oh my God. You've got a, Helen has got a great YouTube channel. And I've been trying to encourage her to share it in the group, Grow Your Business with Video. So get it shared. Get the link to your channel shared, Helen. Yeah, always need a good shower after camping. I love that idea. It's brilliant. It was brilliant fun. It was so good. Right. So what's my cocktail tonight? Content of cocktails. It's not just about the video. I get to sit down and have a drink. This week, I'm going full Big Lebowski and I'm treating myself to a White Russian. I do it occasionally. Here, we've deviated from the usual of having a cocktail from 100 Cocktails by Bernard. This week it is the White Russian. So I've got a tumbler, a bit of ice, double measure of the old vodka, and then a single measure of the coffee liqueur. Doesn't seem like it's going to be enough, does it? No. And then a single measure of the coffee liqueur. Got a Tia Maria here. It's like it's 1977. And then topped up with a little bit of single cream. And there we have it. The dude abides. Cheers. It's very nice, though. It's one of these cocktails that looks absolutely grim. Totally grimsters, but is actually all right. Let's kind of turn that off because I don't want the phone buzzing. So that's it. Content and cocktails. That's the cocktail done. Let's get to the content. So I mentioned that the one of the things I've been doing has finally been sitting down and sorting out my content plan. So I've really focused for the last year on my live content because I've wanted to up my game there. It's one of these areas where I hadn't before I really dove into lives about 2.5+ years ago. It was I wasn't really hugely confident about live video, but I knew I needed to master it. I'd been helping other people with it. I've been helping other people set up and use it. But I'd always held myself back, which is ridiculous. So I started doing that. And I feel now I've got to a point where live video is just is an easy thing. It flows naturally. I don't, this may surprise you. I don't overly plan, but it's come out of the point where I rigorously planned and followed my system for the first 8 months, and then it sort of becomes a familiar thing to do, and you can be a bit more kind of a bit more flexible with how you approach it. But the pre-recorded content, I'd rather neglected. I was doing bits and pieces, but I'd always had this plan to have a video every single day, and what I wanted to do was kind of do a whole big batch of pre-record stuff. So whilst I've been running the first course, the first Video Academy course, I've been taking my own medicine. I have revisited my planning processes. I've revisited my ideal customer avatar, all of that. I've revisited my story. I've made a content plan. I've done all the things that I help other people with, and I've actually come up with a list of 365 short videos. So I wanted to play around with Reels and TikTok and YouTube Shorts and all these other places where short form content is currently working really well. And I wanted to take a sort of a tactical view of the kind of content. I wanted content that would give short, pithy, tactical things that people could implement around video content. Because you can't really deliver big meaty strategy in a meaningful way. I think in 30 seconds, and it's one of these things that the kind of you need to that sort of short form content, the reels, really lends itself well to that kind of more tactical stuff, I think. What have we got here? We've got some comments. Yes, share your YouTube channel. Tomorrow. No, do it today. Seize the moment. Share it here. Share it in this link. White Russian. Yeah. Have you ever had a jam donut? The cocktail. Yeah. No, I've never had a jam donut. I must try a jam donut. That sounds good. Send me the recipe and we'll do one. Must introduce the dirty Chechnya cocktail. Oh my good grief. Creating a deep dark bar that didn't have single cream. So we got creative. I'm intrigued. Please do share. Hey, Josephine, how you doing? I saw you loads. I thought I need to get some juice. So is it because you were looking and thinking, man, he looks unhealthy. I should have something healthy. I think that's it. And Scott has got a great YouTube channel as well. Take a look. Scott's channel is good. Follow it. He has good things to say on interesting subjects. So back to the main theme, which is this kind of regular content creation. I wanted to get it to sort of have a one and done approach to it. So last month, I came up with my list, and I set up. Actually, I set up a camera just over here, pointing towards my editing setup, and I left the camera up and I left the sound up, and I had my list. And every time I sat down, I just recorded another 10 short 30-second videos. I was aiming for 30 seconds. Some of them went slightly over. I tried to do them in one take to make the editing easier. Hey, Helen's done it. Yes. So we want to get Helen over the 100 subs level, so she can have a vanity URL. So everyone, go and subscribe. Yeah. So I set up the camera so I could basically just chip away at it, because you can't really set up and do 365 videos in one go, because you'd get about 50 in and it would just be nonsense. You know, I think recording about 20 in one go is, for me, I think that I know that is my limit. That I can do it competently before my brain starts to kind of dribble out of my ears. It doesn't take long, but because I'm doing it on my own, I'm sort of I'm monitoring, the all sorts of different factors, sound, lighting, all this kind of stuff, and making sure the focus is in. So you kind of have to come at it with this sense that you kind of got to be doing small amounts, and then look at it, check that it's okay, leave the camera set up, come on to the next day. So first of all, you have a list. Come up, and mine was just written on paper. So I was, because 365 short ideas sounds like it's going to be, you can get to 100 ideas really quickly. It's grinding out those other 265 that can be really, really hard, even if it's short tips. And there is some repetition in there, just out of necessity, because there's only so many short, quick tips you can give. So take the view that you are going to, first of all, come up with a master list. If you can get 150 ideas, maybe your approach is that you choose to do a weekly short video, because a daily one is quite a big commitment. So from what I did, I got my list of ideas down. I said to myself I was going to try and do between 10 and 20 a day. Some days, obviously, I did more, just simply by virtue of the fact that I wanted to get it done in a month. I pushed myself. But as I edit my way through, I'm finding that some are better than others, just by the nature of it. And so I'm going to have to re-record some. But that sort of batch creating means that you can be really, really efficient. Now, what is great is that once you've recorded your first 30 or 31, you then know that you have a month of content in hand. So if you're doing this at a slightly less frenetic pace, you can take your foot off the gas a little bit, because you've then bought yourself a month's worth of time. Now, if you can do 60, if you can get 2 months worth of content shot and ready, then you have bought yourself a whole heap of time to get the next lot done. And if you are always the way I like to think of it, I'm always pushing the border of where my content finishes forward. So if I sit down and edit 10 more videos, because I'm not editing it all in one go, because I've actually got sort of obviously client work to do and all that kind of stuff. So every time I sit down and edit another 10, I'll push that boundary out a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further. And before you know it, you've got a situation where you're thinking, oh my God, I've bought myself half a year's worth of content. So psychologically, batch creating and sort of batch preparing is really important. I'm just going to go over the. So back to Jojo's recipe for the what's it, the donut, jam donut. What is it? Bailey's, cream, Chambord, and sugar the glass. Oh my God! I think I've just got type 2 diabetes reading that. My God, that sounds like it might be quite good though. We should try that. Jojo, are you ever going to be down in Plymouth to meet up with your partner in crime and my neighbour Rosie? I'd be interested if you are. We should definitely arrange to do something fun and silly. Only 95 subscribers to go, but yeah. Now, on my YouTube channel, there is a video on how to create a dedicated YouTube subscriber link. Now, a YouTube subscriber link is a very handy thing to create, because it instantly prompts anybody who follows the link to it gives them it gives a nice kind of subscribe button overlaid on the screen. So a subscriber link is a good thing to do. And if you go over to my YouTube channel, which is Video Skills Made Easy, you will find it there. Have a little search around. I think batch creating is a good idea, because you get a little flow going. That's it. That's what I'm saying. So if you have that flow going, it's psychologically brilliant. It feels like you've already won. If you can get a month in advance, what an amazing place to be in. If you can get a quarter of a year in advance, you're laughing. You've just got to keep that thing going. Now, the hard part is not just coming up with the ideas, not just editing it, but making sure it's going out every day. And so I've got a little system going. So I'm still experimenting with times of day that things go out, how I put them out, what they kind of. So I haven't quite hit that daily kind of that daily kind of rhythm yet, but it's partly because I'm testing and measuring to try and find the best time of day to post. And with my reels, it seems to be that if I post them after 3 o'clock, I'm almost certain to get sort of knocking on the door of kind of 1,600 views, and some decent engagement, which is interesting. But I'm still testing and measuring. I have 15 times 3 minute videos. Oh, man, you see that? How do you feel about that, Scott? Do you feel positive about that, or are you thinking? I mean, my comment earlier that I put in the group about who loves video editing, And generally speaking, the answers are, I tolerate it. And I think that's how I feel about it. The reason why I put that little question in the group is because this morning I was delivering the second of the editing training modules in the Video Academy course, which is going to be launching end of September. Just, bear that in mind. I know there's quite a few people out there who want to come on to the second cohort. The general feeling that I get from people is that it's one of those things that people feel like they need to do rather than sort of have to do. Scott says, I've written the title, Struggling to Get Motivated. Yeah, oh, tell me about that one. Yeah, it's hard sometimes, isn't it? You kind of look at it and think, the last thing I want to be doing is filming and editing. But, it's that process of kind of just pushing through on the days when you don't feel like it. Jojo says, we are running a brand retreat in November together, but yes, I'm sure I'll be down south one day. Let's all go mudsliding. Yeah, that'd be great fun. It was such good fun. Content creating and ideas really can come from just things that happen in the day and relating them. Yeah, exactly. I think this is it. It's one of these things where if you're jotting down ideas, one of the things that I really struggle with is with email marketing. So one knock on of all this daily content I'm doing is I'm actually thinking of doing a daily email with a link to my short video and a little bit of kind of info around that piece of content. But it's just me on my own. I'm currently looking for a VA to help me out, but because of so if anybody has good VA recommendations, please send them my way. I'm thinking of using the video as the sort of the inspiration for the daily email. Helen says, get on the next academy. You won't regret it. And I am guaranteeing that you won't regret it. It's been a really great course. It's been really in depth. I think we've kind of got into subject matter that I think was pushes people's ideas of what they can create, what they are capable of creating. We cover off all the basic stuff as well, but we've had some really good sessions, and it's all about action taking, but it's all about building those strong foundations so that you can use video in your business in a way that is focused on the bottom line, really focused on growth. Motivate yourself by daring yourself to do the thing. Indeed, we do it because we must. We do it not because it is easy. Yeah, no, I completely agree with you on this. But it's the juggling the time. And I think for me, the big motivation for doing the 365 daily pieces of content, that was driven by a desire to use my time wisely. I thought, well, if I can batch stuff up and get it all created ahead of the time for a year, then I don't have to think about it for a year. It's done. And I can just keep recycling that because it's evergreen. And with a little tweak, that can just be, that can be there being shared forever. So, yeah. Any questions at all on anything? Ask me anything. Dared Tom. Do you tell? It's Mr. David Williams, the Ferret Man. Listen, David is a deep inspirational guy, and I've been very fortunate to get to know him through the mastermind Destination Inspiration that I'm a member of. Yes, David, cheers. And he's a White Russian. I do love a White Russian. And one of the things that I've loved about being able to spend a bit of time with Dave is this man is an arch action taker, and is a real inspiration. Very very chastening to think of the fact that, you know, this is a man who, as far as I know, you wrote the book in the weekend, didn't you? You made yourself a leading expert on ferrets, as far as I remember, mostly on the back of a bed, which I love. But it epitomizes how to build out, you know, quick passive income. So check, you know, if David is well worth following and checking out, because he's a man who can, and I would highly recommend seeking out why I call him Ferret Man. Thank you so much. I'm honored. Cheers. Away for content to do the A to Z of your business. Look at national. Yeah, that's it. What's the national day today? National days. Calendar at a glance. Oh, that's not good, is it? National Calendar Day. Celebrate every day. What are we doing today? Oh, it won't tell me. Oh, cheers, Jojo. Thank you for being here. You are always welcome, and I shall make one of those jam donuts cocktails. And if I slump into some kind of diabetic coma, it's your fault. So there we go. It sounds delicious. I'm just checking something out. What are today's? Yeah, this is it. You see, Jojo has a really good point about this. It is. It's the Root Beer Float Day, International Bow Tie Day. I'm not going to. That's really, but International Talk Like Jar Jar Binks Day, which I'm really not going to do, because that kind of thing can get you into trouble. Quite bad, quite a lot of bad trouble. National Potato Day, National Sandcastle and Sculpture Day, here we are, World Humanitarian Day, World Photo Day. You see, this is it. Like you say, Jojo, it's kind of these kind of things are hooks to hang content off, aren't they? But A to Z's are great. Maybe that's where I start. You know, the cycle after 365 days of tips, or do an A to Z. It won't take me very far by comparison, but it's a nice thing to think of, isn't it? It was bad when it came out. It hasn't improved with age. I'm going to mix myself another one of those cheeky white Russians. Oh, those Russians. Yeah, so as I say, we're a month out from the challenge week. I've put the link there if anybody fancies joining. There is going to be lots of prizes again, and lots of good learning and lots of fun, but it is primarily all about live video. And this idea, and sort of combating this idea that sort of live video is scary. A lot of people, and you know, they're sort of the comments on last time were so telling. So many people were very much coming at the challenge from a point of view, well, you know, I kind of know I need to do it, but I hate the idea of doing lives. And they would, you know, going live in the group was a starting point, and then coming and actually taking what they learned and putting it into the real world and really kind of really building out some exciting stuff. So yeah, no, it was a really good challenge. The link, I will, if anybody fancies sharing this link, I would be most grateful, because over the coming weeks, I'd like to get lots of people in on the challenge. Not, you know, not for any vanity reasons, but just because I know how many people benefited from it last time, and it was such good fun. I had an absolute whale of a time. It was brilliant, and I was dreading it because I thought it was my first ever challenge week that I'd run, and I sort of had images of it, you know, falling flat, as we all do, all that kind of negative talk that you do to yourself. I sort of found myself doing it in abundance. I thought, no, but it kicked off, and it was, you know, we had such an engaged group, and really couldn't have been happier with the way the week went. So yeah, I will be talking about this lots and lots and lots, to the point of irritation, I'm sure, over the next few days. We've got our viewer on Twitch again. Somebody is watching from Twitch. Hello, Twitch. How are you? I hope you're well. Whoever this is, cheers. So, I'm trying to think what else I wanted to talk about this evening. I've kind of covered off my little what's Helen saying? I never thought I'd have a live show and have the incredible guests I've got until Christmas, but the challenge and Academy have given me the confidence to get out there and get my message and provide such. That is incredibly kind words, and actually it's been great to see, you know, with all these things, you get out what you put in, and Helen's a great example of somebody who's really gone at it full force, and really kind of embraced the learnings, and as you know, as we were discussing this on a one-to-one call the other day, and actually it's not for everybody. The course itself, Video Academy, isn't for everybody. You've got to be ready, you know, you've got to be in a mental space where you're kind of ready to embrace video, where you want to take that level up step, and is really quite a it can be both uncomfortable and can feel quite daring. But when you take that step, and when you embrace it, and when you learn what you need to learn and apply that learning, great things can happen. Great things do happen. Would they be a Twitcher? Well, would they be a Twitcher? You see, I feel like I'm some kind of like Twitch fraud, because I have a channel there which occasionally my son will do a bit of live streaming on, as he shares whatever's going through his head on whatever computer game he's playing. So I'm sure that people will look at our Twitch channel and go, what the hell is this channel about? Is it about computer games, or is it about video content? Who knows? A bit of both, it would seem. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, I feel very honoured that Helen sort of is happy to sort of share and kind of talk about her experience, because it's so valuable, and I'm looking forward to helping lots more people. I'm trying to think of what else I can cover tonight. I've kind of covered off most things, but I suppose if I've got one kind of call to action from this evening, it would be around planning your content. Think about content not on a piece by piece basis, but think about it in a big batch thematic way. You will find that it is much easier to be more consistent if you take that kind of approach with your video content, rather than viewing it as a kind of one. Okay, that's a really exhausting way to do it. If you can batch record stuff, and get things edited in advance, and as I say, always be pushing that border, you're expanding your borders of content, out and out and out and out. And the great thing is, I'm not just creating this content for one platform. This is going out on YouTube as a YouTube short. So YouTube Shorts, if you don't know, is a feature that YouTube has, which allows you to kind of designate things as short form, specifically short form, and they're presented and shared in a slightly different way. So there's Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. I put the content on LinkedIn as well, and wherever I can, I share it, and it goes out. And I'm trying to get everything scheduled up as well, because what I'd really like to do is have all this automated, and so it's just going out. I can get, once I've found a VA to help me with this, you will, I can help. I can have somebody to help me do this, because I am still chief cook and bottle washer, which is not exhausting, but there are those days and you think, if only I could clone myself. But I give away my sort of, I find it hard to give away things to other people to do, partly because I worry that you can't it won't get done in quite the way I want it. But I know that is just me being stupid, so I'm sort of grappling with that side of me at the moment. Yeah, well, David, actually, that would be a good conversation, because I'm taking the view that I'm prepared to take time to find the right person. So any recommendations would be brilliant. Yeah, Restream is great. Funnily enough, StreamYard has just got a scheduling process in as well, so I can schedule up pre-recorded content to go live, which is really cool, which I'm quite looking forward to trying that out. I was considering putting my daily content out as a sort of a semi-live, a kind of pre-recorded live, if that makes sense, as well, but they're so short. I'd have to sort of put a bit of padding around it to make sure it kind of it didn't feel just like a teeny tiny 30-second burst of knowledge. David says, yes, it is, which I'm assuming you're saying to Restream. Right, I am going to end this lovely call, this call, it's not a call, this live, before I get tempted into the third cocktail danger zone. Long-time viewers will know that it's cocktail number 3 that often causes the problem, and I need to yeah, it's true though, it's true. Giving things away to do, it's something I find difficult. It's this thing where I find myself kind of looking at tasks and thinking, oh, I could do that. But in fact, yes, I could do it, but how long would it take me to do it? And somebody else would do it better anyway. So, yeah. I've completely derailed myself now. Yes, so I will see you again next week. Things will be ramping up. We already have 4 people waiting in the challenge group, pop-up group waiting room, which is great. So I would love to see more people kind of coming in and getting ready to join the challenge, but that's we're weeks away. So I'm just kind of warming up. We're warming up at the moment. That is it. Join me again next week at 7 o'clock for more chat about video content marketing, deep dives into all things moving image and marketing, growing your business with video and all that kind of jazz. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll have the jam donut cocktail next week and see what happens with that. Cheers, everyone. Have a great week. See you soon. Bye-bye.